Hello and welcome to this class. So in this class, we're going to be learning about layouts in React Native. We're going to look at flex direction, justify content, align items, flex wrap, display, and positioning of components in React Native. All right, so I have a project set up here already with just some images. So this is just it, just a text here and some images, four images, or one, two, three, four, yes, four images here. Each of these represents an image, right? Good. So let us see how we can arrange these things in these images in different ways. All right. So the first thing we're going to look at is flex. What is actually flex? Flex is just a style property that allows us to be able to move things around. All right. And the flex direction means the direction of the flex, which by default is vertical or column. So I already created the style object here, so I'll just call that style object here in my component, because this view component is the view holding all these images. So we're going to be working here. So I call the style property, which will be assigned to the styles object dot the object name itself. Just as we have a styles, this is the object and this is the object we're working with, in particular the style object for this view. Okay, so now the first thing we need to look at is what we call display. So we have three properties of display. We have the content, flex, and none. What we want to look at this particular time is this flex. So putting this display on flex means that every other child in this particular view, this is the view here, it means that every other child in this view, we be able to move them to any corner that we want. Yes, flex means it's flexible, we can move it around anywhere we want. All right, so if I show you the display again, you're going to notice that nothing actually changes. Yes, that is because we have not added a direction yet. So if we say flex direction and we choose column, you're also going to notice that nothing happens. Yes, and that is because on default the flex direction is on column or vertical. All right, so if we want to actually see some changes here, we need to now pass this flex direction as a row. So you see that, right? You see it changes from vertical to horizontal because we change the flex direction to row. Good. But now we can't even see the other images because this is not a scroll view. So in this case, there's something else we can do. There's a property called flex wrap. So we have flex wrap, and if we put it on wrap, it means that at the end of the flex, when there's no space for the child to continue, we want to wrap it, we want it to come down and start. So as you can see that here, right, you notice that instead of displaying it uh, horizontally, it's now in form of a grid. Yes, so this flex wrap kind of puts things in grid form, and more it makes it, instead of the content to run out of screen, it just wraps it to continue inside the screen. So we can also give a gap, just a gap. Yeah, see that it looks more cleaner now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is how we can align items. So we have the x and the y axis, so we can align items on the x axis, and we justify content on the x axis, and we align items on the y axis. So let's see how that works. So still on this image, let's assume that we want to center these images, want it to be centered in the screen. All right, so how can we do that? We can simply call on justify content to the center. See that? It has so many other properties anyways. But if you notice now, we have equal space left and right. See that? We have equal space left and right. So this kind of creates space on the y-axis. It centers everything on the y-axis. All right. We also have another property called align items, and if we put it to center also, oh, not content, items, we want to align items to the center. Oh, nothing actually happens, but okay, maybe we can do that on another content. Good. Okay, so justify content works, align items, we can't really see any like a positive change, although the change is there, but we can't really see it. So let's try that on another component. All right, so we have seen flex direction, flex wrap. So this flex direction, we can also do other things with it, like we can go row reverse. That means to start from the bottom to the top. So you see that, right? Okay, let me comment this first so you see that. So you see it starts from the left if you put on row reverse. All right, so if we perhaps change it to column reverse, it starts from the bottom. Yes, that's right, column reverse starts from the bottom. All right, but we don't want that. It's always good to center it nice. We center it nice. We can center it nicely. All right, okay, so we put it row so that everything looks clean. Now here on justify content, it also has other properties. You see space around, flex end, flex start. So let's see them one after the other. Flex end. When I click on flex end, you see it moves everything towards the right. So when I click on flex start, it moves everything towards the left. See that? So when I say flex, uh, okay, space around. Let's see what space around does. You see, it creates space. It kind of creates some kind of space around the content. You see, equal space here, equal space here, and equal space in the middle. So that's space around. We also have another property of space between. So this creates equal space between these items. As you can see, we only have space in the middle because this is space between. And then we also have the other property called space evenly. So this creates an even space between the content. All right. Okay. So that's how flex direction works. Okay. So let me add some more content like the text. So here after this view, I can just call a text here, or I can pass in an image, an icon. So let's pass in an icon and see what we can do with that. So I'll go to expo icons, expo icons. We're going to get an icon from here. So outside of this view here, I'll create another view for the icons. So I'll create another view here. Then when I open this view, I want to put two icons and two texts. So let's see how we can arrange that. So I want to put the location icon. So let's say I want to choose this one from any typo. I'll just copy this family here, go all the way to the top, import, then come back and get this render component here. So we paste the render component where we want to use it. Like in this view, that's where I want to use it. So I'll simply paste the render component here. So because of time, I'll duplicate this. All right. Okay. Or yeah. So let's do it in a way. Okay. Let's have a look. So you see that we have two icons, two location icons. So assuming we want to put these icons side by side, right? Assuming we want to put these icons side by side, we can simply call on another style here, which is gonna be styles dot icon. So I'll just style this icon name, or maybe I can use two different icons for clarity. So I'll go back and I'll go with this one. Just copy the family, go to the top, paste it, come back, get the render component and paste it. So I'll just overwrite this second one and paste. Yes, so that's it. Okay, so here we have a star icon already. So close the spaces. I'll put a comma here and paste. Oh no, not this one. I paste icon. Good. So we have two icons now. We want to put them in different side by side perhaps. So I can simply say display should be what? Flex. That means we want to move them around. Put a comma, flex direction, row, because by default it's column. So you see row puts them side by side. Good. Now if we say justify content to the center. Okay, here's something we can do. For us to actually see how this justify content works, let's give a background color. So we can call a background color of orange. So we see we have a background color of orange here. So you see justify content puts everything in the center of the view. Okay, so let's see what align items to do. So, okay, before we can see what align items to do, let's give this particular view a height of 400. Give it a width of 300. Okay, I have to put a comma here. Good. So we see that now. So justify content center centers everything on x-axis, not y-axis, gents. This is x-axis. Horizontal is x-axis, then vertical is y-axis. So align items to the center. We put everything on the center of y-axis. So align items to center. See what happens. You see that, right? It moves it to the center of the y-axis. So that's how it's done. Then align items also has other properties. We can say flex end. Oh, that just takes it out of the view. At the end of the view, we can't really see that. So if I do flex that, let's see flex that. Flex that takes it to the beginning. Flex end takes it to the end. And then baseline, almost the same as flex that. Okay, so we're gonna do center just so it stays nice on the center. So you see that? So height of 400, which should be 400 for a square, for a square. Good. So we see that here. Okay, so assuming that each this icon, these icons we have here, we don't want them to stay here. We want to actually position these icons at a particular place. Let's say in this view, we want to position this icon maybe at the top here, this top right or top left, depending on what the case may be. So in that case, this also takes the style property. Then I can call on styles dot icon main. That's the main icon now. So let's do one, then we will duplicate on the other one. All right. So if I want to position that icon, now here's one. We need to understand two things here. So this parent we are seeing, that is, when I say the parent, I'm referring to this orange background. So for us to position something, we have to understand the difference between absolute and relative. All right. So when we want to position something, the parent that is holding that thing will have a relative position, and that thing we want to position in a particular place will have an absolute position. Although every view by default has a relative position, but just for clarity, we can still write it here as position to be what? Relative. So that here in the thing we want to position at a particular angle, we can call position there and pass in the position as absolute. This absolute means that we will be able to move it to particular places using top, bottom, right, and left. So we can position them at these angles. All right. So here I might say I want to position this icon at top of 50. So let's see what that does. So you notice it actually moved this icon to the top of 50. All right. So what if I want to position it to right of 50? You see, it moves it to the right at 50, right? Then, so it all depends on where you want to position it. So you just put the thing that you want to position to have an absolute position, and the main container where you want to position it would have a relative position. So we can also do bottom. Like I said, it's either top, right, left, or bottom. So we can do bottom too. Maybe we want to say go to bottom of 90 degrees. So you see that it's hidden here. If I do 80, it's going to come up a bit. So if I do 80, I can't even see it. Okay, bottom of 30. You see, okay, it's taking it down below. So if I do bottom of 50, I can't still see it. Bottom of 1 or bottom of 0, I really can't see it. Okay, let me leave it on default and see. Okay, it's actually here. All right, so let me try that again. Left of 10. See that? Okay, so let's give this its own style too. So we can just copy this here, Ctrl C, and paste it here, Ctrl V, and then change this to icon main 2. All right. So here I'll just receive this here and put a comma, paste, and change it to icon main 2. Right. Okay. So let's position this to the right now. So you see that, right? So I can actually play around with it. I can change this to top, goes to the top at 10. So that's how we can do flex direction, justify content, align items, flex wrap, and how we can display and position items and content on our application. All right. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next class.